Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a little wedding update chit chat with you guys because there's probably a lot to share that I just haven't really spoken about recently, and I keep like editing myself out in vlogs talking about wedding content. So I thought I would sit down, film a little update. We are officially 6 months away from the wedding. Yesterday was the official 6 months countdown to our wedding, so that's super exciting and super nerve-wracking all at the same time because we still have what feels like lots to do. So let's start by saying save the dates, out, check. Currently working on the invite situation. I actually custom made my save the dates just on Canva. Originally I was going to have them print through Canva, but I ended up having them printed through Vistaprint. Although this time I might print my invites through Canva as I have a discount given that they mucked up so many times. So that's still up in the air. I found a new design idea that unfortunately I am unable to do given that I don't do Photoshop and stuff like that, but my cousin's wife is a graphic designer and she said that she'd help me out if it's something that we can do, but unfortunately the style requires a photo and Scott and I have not done our engagement shoot yet. We actually did at I think it was the end of October or so. My dad did a shoot with us. My dad used to be a photographer, and we kind of did, this was like our warm-up engagement shoot, and that's one of the photos that I included on our save the date. So we're not quite ready to do our engagement shoot yet. It is on the roster, but probably closer to April or May, although it's already almost mid-March, so it'll be here sooner rather than later. So I do need to reach out to our photographer for that. So invites are in the works. We have our officiant, we have our caterer, we've got our contract for that. Our next big thing is obviously tent, table rentals, china, all that flatware stuff, along with DJing. Now DJing is an interesting subtopic for us because originally Scott and I had a MacGyvered version of what our sound situation was going to be, which was going to feature primarily our Google Minis. We have 5 in our home. His mom has several in her home, and there's some up at the cottage. So we really legitimately could have had like a surround sound set up with the Google Minis. And my coworker has equipment for mics and speakers, so during our ceremony and speeches, you'd be able to actually hear everyone. So that was kind of checked. We had inquired with one DJ that was actually a coworker of my father, and that went absolutely nowhere. One of my best friends from high school's sister's boyfriend, so a friend of a friend, owns an entertainment company. So I did get a quote from him for the wedding, and it was much cheaper than where I had seen quotes for other places. So I think we have a DJ back on the books. Once we kind of finish up with our caterer, he will give us an idea about how many tables and extra things that we would require for serving dinner. We are doing a buffet style dinner with an outdoor grill situation, which we're quite excited for. And it was really nice being able to get all of the details for our meals kind of hand selected, which is really nice instead of just like, we still obviously did some picking and choosing from a list, but the list was much more extensive than the other caterer that we looked at. So once I kind of talk to him, then I can continue talking to the tent rental company. That's probably been the most stressful because the company that my sister-in-law and brother-in-law used appeared to have gone under. Brother-in-law to save the day passed me along the contact information, and they actually just split with one of their partners, and that's why I wasn't finding them. And he's been super pleasant to work with so far, so I'm going to be sending him some questions about his inventory just to kind of get things rolling. But everything's kind of like intermingled now, where like I need something from someone before I can talk to somebody else and whatnot. So that's a little hard for me. Other than like for me, obviously my wedding dress, I bought it in January. I don't think I'm going to be seeing it until like July. I have no idea. We'll see. Still not sure about my shoes, but I have heavily considered wearing a like full-blown colored shoe. Now I know a lot of people like the colored shoe would be like blue, but that's not it for me. Like I'm almost fully committed to having a pair of emerald or burgundy heels. My bridesmaids are in burgundy, and Scott and the groomsmen will be in like full black with like an emerald, like a dark emerald green pocket square and tie. So I was torn to Do I wear emerald to match him? Do I wear burgundy to match the girls? And then part of me was really just like struggling with that idea, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just do like, you know, the ivory shoe for the ceremony and stuff, and just save the colored heels for other bridal events that I'll be wearing, you know, white outfits too. So I still haven't decided. I do foresee myself getting some new shoes regardless, but I also want to make sure they're shoes that I can actually wear again. So I have no plans on selling them. So I want to make sure it's something that I'm going to actually wear. And I also have to make sure that there's something I can walk in on the grass, and that's the hard part, because like I love stilettos. I'm not as big into like chunkier block heels, and that's kind of where I need to lean towards so that I can walk along the grass without spearing it, and also walk to where our reception is going to be without breaking my neck on the driveway. So to be determined, but that's one thing left for me. I pretty much have decided that I'm not going to be paying for hair and makeup. Makeup I was definitely considering just doing myself, and then as for my hair, it was kind of like the should I, shouldn't I? But honestly, like I can't be bothered. I really just like the undone kind of look, and I think that's one of the reasons that I'm torn is like, do I just keep my hair down? Like, what do I do with it? And because of my dress style, let me know if you haven't seen my Say Yes to the dress, you can go tell me which dress you think I ended up picking. But for the dress that I went with, my hair could be up or down, maybe a half and half, like I don't really know. So I don't really know what I want to do with my hair. I just know I don't want to pay for it because it's just gonna come undone anyways. I don't know. I just see it as money I don't need to spend. Again, my makeup, I'm gonna keep trialing ideas. I'm actually doing a friend's makeup for her wedding in July, and she sent me some of her inspo, so I'm gonna play around with some of those looks, which I think might be very similar. The bridal trial that I did for myself, if you haven't seen that, I have my bridal trial that I did, oh god, a few months ago now. And I think she wants something along those lines. I'm gonna play around with that. But yeah, so hair and makeup, check. Bridesmaids obviously have their dresses. We gotta figure out what shoe they're gonna end up wearing. I think I just said black heels. To get a little closer to, I will start worrying about making sure that they don't look out of place with their height. Not that it really matters, like they're not all gonna be the same height anyways, but just making sure that everyone's comfortable and there's some cohesion with that. But as for their dresses, if you guys haven't seen, they are the henka dresses, which are convertible dresses. I don't really have a particular vision for what everyone's going to wear. Obviously it's going to be customizable to each of them, but I don't know if I'm gonna like limit what they can do. I'm gonna kind of see what they feel comfortable with and just make sure that it looks cohesive with the three of them. That's checked off. Yeah, like obviously photography was taken care of. That's one I'm like obviously the most excited for. Was photography and food. Those were our big spends for the wedding. And yeah, I feel like once we have the rentals, like there's just like the figuring out, you know, what music's. Right now I know what our wedding song is for our video. We have our song for that, and it's a little bit eclectic, but we really enjoy it, and that's really all that matters. So I got that picked. I have our first dance song picked. Currently working on the daddy-daughter dance. And my mother-in-law asked me yesterday if I had any suggestions for her and Scott for the mother-son dance. Neither of them are particularly keen on dancing. It's gonna be hard for them to find something, but I am looking forward to that. I will help them. I have a few songs in mind for my dad and I. Definitely leaning towards something that's either Beatles, Rod Stewart, Elton John. Those are kind of like the ones I'm really leaning towards, but there are some other like really good ones. I have a few, you know, websites of like, you know, top 100 daddy-daughter songs, or top 74 or 99 or whatnot. So I've gone through a few of them, and I'm gonna talk to my dad about all of them, obviously, but it's just kind of nice to have a little shortened list and be like, well, what do you think about these? That's music. Then obviously I have, I don't know if I mentioned this, but on the RSVP, everyone gets to request a song. So they're gonna tell me the song and the artist, and then I am going to try my best to make sure that every single song gets played in our mix for the evening, because I just feel like it's just memorable to know that you selected a song, and then when it comes on it has some meaning to you. And like I still think of, there's one wedding that Scott and I went to, this family, the daddy-daughter song, literally every time I hear it, I'm brought back to their wedding. So I take this stuff very seriously. Meanwhile, Scott's like, could not care less. But that's all right. That just makes us who we are. I think that I'm gonna end up doing my own envelopes. I did buy an envelope and an envelope liner template package from Michael's a while back, And I think that I'm gonna bring in our wedding colors to that. Our wedding colors are very prominent on our save the date. And then I think with this, I'll be able to accent it. And I'm using a wax seal, which I'm super excited for. I was originally gonna buy a custom one for Scott and I. Since we're both the S's, we go by S squared, and soon it'll be SM squared. And so I thought about doing that, but I just have one that I picked up from Michael's that just says with love. And I don't know if they're discontinuing their wax seals and their wax presses, but like their stock has been so depleted over the last, oh my god, almost 6 months. I bought those ages ago. So I'm using it very sparingly so that I can have enough for all the invites when I do them. And then I do know there's a few people who won't be able to attend the wedding that have reached out and shared that, but our guest list is pretty small, and I'm kind of happy with that because it's expensive. Like, we are trying to really keep it low, but the way with markets are going, food is really expensive. Even with our caterer doing like everything that he can, he literally had a disclaimer in his last email to me that like he'll quote us something, but then 90 days out from the wedding, the price might go up because things are changing literally daily. So he'll price lock it in 3 months beforehand. So we've got 3 months of hoping and praying things don't, you know, combust and totally get wrecked. But it is what it is. Like, it's not like we can do much else. And I'm just waiting for the decor. I am waiting for it. I am excited for it. I have a really awesome wedding arch design that's being custom made for us by a family friend, so I'm super excited with that. And there's going to be, let's say, a little geometric situation going on. So that's where we're at right now. We have most things done. One thing that I haven't really considered in terms of decor is flowers, because I know they are hella expensive. They are very expensive. And I just don't feel like I need them. So I know that we're gonna have to have something. I have a few different ideas of things. I'd actually rather spend money on lanterns and candles. That's kind of the vibe that I'm going for. So I am looking to figure out how I'm gonna do my centerpieces and the bridesmaids bouquets, although I do have a slightly different idea for the girls' bouquets and potentially even my own. That's not like the norm. I don't want to say it's a trendy thing because I don't think it's trendy, but it's definitely a difference, but it is some sort of bouquet. Let's put it that way. So that's one thing I haven't thought about, and I don't really know where to start. But anyways, that is probably the one thing that I haven't gone near yet is florals. But like I said, I have lots of ideas for the decor. We have our colors, so thinking about using fabrics instead of florals and just stuff like that. And I'm sure there are like tons of things I haven't really thought about. And I do have a wedding book that I bought even before we got engaged. I think it's one of my like secret, like I know it's coming soon purchases. And so I kind of reference that every once in a while to see like, ooh, is there something major that I've missed? Is there something that like I'm overlooking that's like should be really obvious or might be obvious to other people? But that's kind of where we're at, and I'm very excited. It also makes me violently nervous, but I'm just thrilled that I will be married in 6 months' time. Absolutely blows my mind. I'm sure it's gonna fly by. I am obviously very grateful that I have summer vacation before the wedding so that I can actually take some time to relax, but also use that time to DIY things. I know some people say go DIY crazy, and so just trying to find that balance of like what can be DIY, what should be purchased, and also remembering that I can resell some of these things, that there's constantly people that are selling wedding stuff. So that is my wedding update. If you have any other like questions about the wedding process and what we're doing so far, please leave them down below or reach out to me on Instagram. I would love to know them, and maybe I can do a little wedding Q&A video down the road when a few more things have progressed. I have toyed with the idea of maybe doing a fiancé Q&A. I did the boyfriend Q&A years ago. I think it may have even been in 2016 when we first started dating, and if not, maybe it was 2017, but I'll link that above. But if you guys have any other questions, maybe I'll get Scott to sit down and we can do that and then add in a few questions that you guys might have. Don't forget to please like, comment, subscribe. I will have more wedding content, more lifestyle content. I have my vlogs, and then of course some beauty and fashion stuff. So please stay tuned and I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya!